Hello once again, this is Cliff with Timbers and Treasures. Today I'm going to be bringing to you Dad's Garage. We're going to do a sign for Dad's Garage. And to start this off, we're just going to come over here to our build style. We're going to select a large letter, hit generate. And this is going to come up. We're not going to need the ring on this one. It's going to be a large letter. We're not going to turn this into a small, large letter keychain, so I can get rid of that ring. The A is just the default letter that shows up to give you something to see. We're going to come down here to large letter settings. I'm going to change that to DADS. As you can see, it's pretty large here. I'm going to reduce the size because I don't want this particular banner to be excessively large, but it'll still be long. I'm going to keep it about an inch thick, so I'm going to keep it at 25, so 25.4 is an inch thick, so that's about an inch. We're going to leave the sample on. I'm going to use, in case they want to hang this up, let me see, what text are we using in here? We're using alpha. We'll just do this to where it's going to be sitting on a shelf. This particular text style has gaps in between them, so you either would need to do keyholes in each of the letters, or in your splicer you can add a bar across the back of this if you want to do it to where you hang it on the wall. You've got an option in here to add 2 keyholes. I would add one on the S, one on the D, and then in the splicer just add a bar across the back side of this to take up those gaps and give it something solid to hold on to. And there's another way I'm going to show you that you can do this without having to do that extra step in the splicer, and that'll be to actually use your subtitle text to connect all these letters together. I'm going to show you 2 different styles to be able to do this Dad's Garage. So let's go ahead and just turn on the extra keyhole. Turn that on there, and it'll pop up in this area here. There it is. All right, we're just going to set the first one about -100 in the X, and both of these I want to have about 10. This one, I'm looking at the center of it and judging how far over that I want this other one to be. I'm going to put it about 80 and also 10, so they'll be at the same height. And actually those came out pretty good, so that's about where I would want that in the S and the D when you hang it on the wall. Again, these keyholes, the red is actually just a keyhole guide, so you're not actually getting a keyhole at that position. It's just allowing you to see where it's located behind the text. If you go to plate and look at the plate 1, you can see the actual keyholes are actually shown in those locations. All right, so now let's work on the subtitle, and we're going to change that to be Garage. And I'm going to use the same style text that I've got on the large letter text, which is the alpha, found the bold, there's script, fun text, script, serif, here we go, here's bold. Alpha slab 1. There we go. All right, so we're going to change that to alpha slab 1. Same style as this. And we're going to drop that down. So I'm going to come to subtitle 1. I've only got 1 in here. And let's start off by just dropping it at 0 and see where it falls. All right, so kind of got an idea about how far I need to go down. I'm going to try that about, start off with a -40. And what I like to do is check and see that I'm not having a little bitty sliver. I want a little, a good overlap in the letters here. I'm going to actually bring that up a little bit more. Let's try 30 and see where that falls. Okay, so I've got it where you can see some white through there, and see how it's a little bit of a gap right there. You can switch the plate over and look at it from the other side and see whether you've got some really thin triangles or little hair strings, and I would adjust the letters based on that, the location. All right, let's change the width here. I'm going to change this to be about as wide as the DAD text. We'll go to the scale here, subtitle scale. Let's try 130 and generate that. All right. I got X's in 0. That puts us in a center. Both of these are centered at 0. The 0 rotation at 0. You can from 90 degrees negative to 90 degrees positive. Right now I don't have this set to where you can actually do this upside down. I haven't run across anybody that actually asked for me to do it upside down, so I've left it out. But if that ever actually becomes a needed item, I will program it in there. It's an easy change up. All right, now we've got the location where we want this, but I want this text to come all the way to the plate. So Z offset is at 0. Right now, I've got the subtitle size at 25. That's the height of this text size. The subtitle thickness, that's from the red all the way down to the bottom of the white. The white is how much it's cutting into the large letter. I want that cut to actually come down to the plate. So what I want to do is change that from 2 to 25. That's going to allow the cut to come all the way to the floor, to the plate. And then the subtitle thickness, I'm going to put at 26. The large letter is at 25. I want these to come up just a little bit, just a hair above that. You can have it even, whatever your preference is. I have it a little bit above because sometimes I may not even want this text here. I may want to just have it to where you've got the plate, the base designed, and then you may see like the shadow of a word cut out of it. So you won't even use that subtitle. It's just used as a cut for that. But if you want to use that, then here it is on plate 2. You see it's 26 in the width. You can use it and insert it, and it'll come out like this. And with it done this way, you can adjust, like you can see that this A is barely touching this D. So I may go a little bit wider with the text to make sure that that A is touching the D. Otherwise, this D and G is floating in the air, and where this keyhole is to hang it up, it wouldn't help on any of this other. All this you got a gap in that R and A. So there'll be a little bit of work on this, but original design is actually to have this without a keyhole, and it just be a shelf project. And so you would actually have the D and G as one item, this will be another item, and then all of this is as one piece, the way this one is working out. But mainly I'm just showing you some ideas of what you can achieve with this. So that's one version of the DADS garage that you can do, and again, that'll just print out on the plates upside down. That way your face has got a good face of it, because that's what's printed against the plate, especially if you're using a textured bamboo plate. It comes out beautifully. Same thing for that. It's upside down so that the face is up against that plate. Now, to quickly modify this to even another style of a DADS garage, we can take the large letter, still keep it at 55, but we want to scale the large letter width down. So we'll go here to large letter settings. Right now the scale factor is a 1. It's a 1:1. If I'm going to put that at 0.8, that's 80%. We'll try that. We'll try 0.8. It brings that down. And I'm going to scale my subtitle down. Let's see, subtitle. I'm trying to scale that down to 38. All right, that's at a 38. I want to do an X. We'll say about 100. What I'm going to do is take this and turn it and put it on the end. And I'm going to rotate it 90. And I'll bring that Y up. Try a 0, because all the text, all the words are based on center. So it should take this whole DADS word, and the center point is going to be 0 here. Same on garage, it's going to be in the center. So anytime that you have something that you want to line up like this, you can have it at 0 and 0, and it should line up for you. All right, my garage name is just a tad larger than that, so I may go down in my scale factor a little bit. Let's see, we're at 38 on the subtitle scale. Let's try 37. All right, now that's a little bit more even. I want this to be a little bit narrower. That way when this is sitting on the shelf, the garage word does not cause the S to have to be a little bit tilted. I want it to be, try to get it as even as possible. All right, let me go back up on that. 38 may have been all right. 38.5. All right, I'm a little bit more happier with that. And it was that easy to change up. There's that. The text is cut out of DADS, and you can glue the garage name to that. And just, that works. If you want to add the keyholes in on it, all you got to do is turn the keyholes back on. Keyhole enable, show the guides. We'll see where those pop up. They'll need to be adjusted a little bit because remember we narrowed the DADS down a little bit. So all we got to do is change the X location. We'll try -80 on that one. That's all right. And we got 80 on this one in the positive direction, and we'll just bring that down 20 as well and see if that puts it in this area. All right, that puts that in that area pretty good. I'm actually going to put that about like 65. See if we can get it more centered in that area. There we go. All right, and there's the keyholes. Again, these, depending on your text style, these letters will be either combined or not. You can narrow these up enough that the letters will actually start touching. In your splicer, if you wanted to, you've got the keyholes already in here. Once you get it in your splicer, you can explode this. Right now, this is going to come in as one item, and this is going to come in as one item or object. But you can explode this on the plate, and if you want to drag them a little bit closer together, or just put a bar across the back of it, or on the underneath the bottom here, you can put a kind of a base along the bottom to attach them all together and then hang it on the wall. If you want that preference, it's just going to be the matter of what text style you have. I just so happen to be using one that has them all separated, of course. So that's just your personal preference on that. But anyways, that's the gist of one of the additional things that you can actually do, or there was two styles of this DADS Garage, one where the subtitle was underneath and then over here to the side. I actually like the one on the side a little bit better. Let me turn those keyholes back off. And there you go. Then all you gotta do is just download it and print it. Well, any questions, just send me a message. Again, this is Cliff with Timbers and Treasures. Look for more videos on tutorials on how to work this program. If you print anything off of it, post your prints. I'd love to see what y'all come up with. Talk to you later.